Hello, everyone. We are live. Welcome to the show must go on line. Today's guests are the Broadway Husbands, Bret and Steven. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Doing well, thanks. It's so fun to actually get to chat with you, and I feel like I've been following your Instagram stories and your podcast, so it's fun to be face to face in some way.
I know we
Yeah.
haven't seen you since we met for drinks in the fall. I think it was
Or
in the
no,
fall,
was it in
right?
the fall?
It
No, it
was
was in January, right?
It was, yeah. I think
Beginning of
John
the
and I
year.
just got back from London,
You
and
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what a day. That was such a funny day too, because it was like we covered the Broadway Barks, was it? There was like a dog animal rescue thing, and then there was an opening night, and then we met up with drinks, also with a Barry Entourage. What an experience.
Yeah.
So let's get into first how we met, which is so funny and serendipitous, and why don't you guys start with saying how you got involved? Let's no rewind. How did you become the Broadway Husbands? How did you each of you individually find your love for Broadway and performing, and therefore find each other?
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Well, I started dancing when I was really, really young. And I started musical theater when I was probably 7 or 8. And I kind of fell in love. I always performed and I loved performing. I loved theater, I loved musical theater, and I loved ballet. But I made the decision early on to just dedicate myself, my whole self, to ballet because that's really what I wanted. So that's what I did, and I went to the School of American Ballet here in New York. I danced with the New York City Ballet for 13 years, and I became a principal dancer there. Um, and then in 2008, I had the opportunity to audition for Billy Elliot. That was like my life really quickly. And then and then in 2008, I
Wait,
auditioned.
something happened before that.
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna just talk about myself first, and then you're gonna talk about yourself.
Yeah,
And
but
then...
this is part of who you are.
Okay. Well, well, let me just. I'm just saying, that's how I'm talking about, Broadway.
This is
Yeah,
So,
perfect.
I was on Broadway when we met.
right. So, okay, fine. I'm. So in 2006, I met Bret, and I was a principal dancer with New York City Ballet, and he was in Beauty and the Beast at the time, and of course, I'd always gone to see theater my whole time living in New York, and so we were now friends. Oh, and then we were dating. Yeah, so it was not until we were dating that I actually saw the show, and I saw it twice. I remember I saw your last show. At the time when we met, he was on Broadway and I was not, and I had not been on Broadway, but I had done musical theater as a kid and done some plays and things, and then in 2008, I got the opportunity to audition for Billy Elliot, and I booked it. And that was when at that point, we had just moved in together
Wow.
in our relationship. And and then that was like my foray back into theater, and that was my first Broadway show. And yeah, I mean, that's like me really quickly, like individually, and then say your thing.
Yeah, so
Tell me your
I
story.
mean, my career path was I just was 6 years old. I wanted to be on Broadway, and I was gonna make it happen no matter what. And then when I met Steven, I was in my second Broadway show, which was Beauty and the Beast, and I was so happy I met somebody who was not in theater but was in the arts until 2008 when he got Billy Elliot. Um, and then I was happy because I was in love, so it didn't really matter. So um, then that whole time was so amazing because at that time I did Little Mermaid and he was doing Billy Elliot, and our stage doors were literally across the street.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Little Mermaid came down, I think, like 30 or 45 minutes earlier than his show did. Billy Elliot was long.
Yeah, Billy Elliot was a 3-hour tour. His show
Yeah.
was like 2:20.
So we had moved in together, and we would commute to 46th Street. I'd go to the Lunch. He'd go to the Imperial.
We
right
lived in
next to In
Queens.
the Heights was running at the same time. I know you're a big Lin-Manuel person.
Yes.
And
Oh, is that a thing?
what, to be a Lin-Manuel? I don't know. What do they call the Lin-Manuel people, fans?
Oh, yeah, no, the Lin-Manuel Aristas. No, I don't know. We don't have. I'm just
Shoshana.
because it's
No.
it's absurd.
We call them Shoshanas. Okay. So anyway, that was a fun time. But he used to, at the time we were dating and we were living together, and I would get home and watch Oprah. I think that's usually what I would end up getting.
Yeah,
home.
he wouldn't prepare dinner
because we would DVR Oprah. I'd get home, I'd have to watch my Oprah, and then he'd come home and be like, "Where's my food?" And I'd be like, "I had to watch Oprah." I mean, there were priorities, you know.
And then he'd be like, "I don't know. What are we gonna eat?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just got done, and you've been here for like an hour. Why haven't you thought of this?" And he's like, "I'm so hungry." I'm like, "Yeah, and you have." Anyways, it was
he
just
still carries that. He still carries that resentment, and it's been like a long time.
so that
One
was
of
how.
those things cuts deep.
The food. It's always the food with him.
So, that's like us in a nutshell, how we met. And, we were on Broadway at the same time in the beginning like that. And then it cut to 2013. We made a YouTube video. And we were both unemployed at the time. And it was like 5 things to do when you're unemployed. And it's really funny to be in this apartment because we actually filmed it. Like, we sat on this wall, I remember, and did it. Sorry, we're back in this apartment. Anyways,
That was 2009.
that was 2013.
13.
13.
And so we made this video, and Bret, it was on Bret's YouTube channel, and it always got a lot of engagement because it was the two of us together. So that was like the OG Broadway Husbands moment. And so then
I had this whole like series I would do on my YouTube channel called Broadway Husbands, and anyone who's on here, you can go like back. There's like a playlist of all the old videos from 2013. I mean, I can't believe how long it's been, and that any videos I did of me and Steven always did better than just me by myself. So, what is your beverage of choice? Is there strawberries floating in that?
Yeah, I have some sparkling raspberry water with some fresh strawberries cut inside.
That looks so summery and refreshing.
Highly recommend it. And like I put 3 ice cubes in 5 minutes ago and they are all melted.
They're gone. It's hot here too. Okay, so then those videos always did better. So I was like, I wonder what would happen if I created a separate channel for this and just see what would happen, and it just took off. And then we started a separate Instagram for it. I couldn't believe nobody had the handle, so we just I just created the Broadway Husbands Instagram handle, and it has just blown up over the last 2.5 years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Instagram started until like 2.5 years ago, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Like, where are we in time? Yes, that's right.
And
What
then
is
the YouTube. Yeah, what is time?
Especially now.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it all started, and we decided to take a huge leap in 2018 and leave New York City and move to Charleston, South Carolina, and explore that. And we were going to document the whole adventure, sort of like Green Acres, like the city boys going down to the south, and we had started doing that, and that was really when it all sort of took off.
Yeah.
And then we realized that was kind of not our thing to be there. Like, we missed New York and we loved our careers here, and we wanted to come back. And so then that was another part of the adventure.
Yeah.
We moved back in the fall, and now here we are. We're all in this COVID adventure
Pandemic.
together.
Yeah.
So,
And the reason why I say it's like weird to be in this apartment is because we lived in this apartment for 5 years, and then we moved uptown in 2015, and then we lived uptown for 4 years and rented this out. And then we 't to Charleston, and then we moved back when we moved back in here.
in the fall.
And then we were only here for like 4 or 5 months, and then we just spent the last 3 months in isolation in Pittsburgh, and now we're back, and now we're moving again. Anyways, so that's why I'm like, and we were in this apartment.
It's weird.
That's why I'm like, oh yeah, that was.
It's
Anyways.
weird. We feel very like unsettled at this moment, as I'm sure most people do.
Yeah.
But it's an adventure. That's what, we did this Tony Robbins workshop this weekend, this like
which was amazing
leadership like thing, and a big value, like you do these value exercises, and I'm a life coach, and so I do that stuff too. But it was like adventure is a big part of my values, and I'm like, and we have been on a nonstop adventure.
Yeah.
For a few years now.
For a while, yeah. It feels like it finally felt like we were kind of like not settling down, but at least like coming back to the apartment that we own, and like,
and I got wicked.
All these things. I was like, oh, we're gonna be able to like sit and chill for a minute and like figure. Anyways.
Anyway, we're all here. Cheers.
Yeah. We're healthy. It's all good. Yeah.
Cheers to that.
SHO.
SHO. I like that. Everyone has like different, like, I get Shoshi, which is an interesting one.
I like Shoshi. It's like a Mario Kart or something.
I know, yeah. Here we go. But it is, I love the idea of thinking of it as an adventure, and that's kind of how I go through life, as like a journey. So it makes things that are tough a little less tough for your own mental health, because you're thinking like, instead of it being like a roadblock, it's like, well, it's just an adventure. It's just a different part of my journey. And I was for some reason meant to go on this journey so that later in life I could have these new skills or have this experience or whatever it might be. That's how I try to look at things, so that it helps move things forward.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and I think that we've been able to always kind of have that mindset. I think career-wise, the paths that we are on anyways have lent us to always, see the best in our situation, even if maybe we're kind of in a transition, because there are a lot of times when we've been in transition, and, that is part of the process and part of the growth. And, yeah, it has been an adventure. And once our anxiety, at least my anxiety, I can only speak for myself, like once my breath wasn't like all the way up here before we left the city, and then I finally I've calmed down, and things are good. Things are really good, and it's been a good opportunity for us to just be together and figure out our lives.
Yes. Well, being together, that is very important. It's funny because right now, for people who have been watching, this. If not, it's a very funny situation. I'm currently in Washington State at my boyfriend John's place, but John is in Alaska fishing because he's the captain of a salmon boat. So I'm taking care of the dog, and I'm like, I guess, house sitting and whatnot. And I haven't seen him in person since May 13th.
He's been gone that long?
Yeah, and because of quarantine, they had to fly earlier and quarantine there for 2 weeks before going on the boat, which makes you feel a little better about the upcoming fish that you'll be eating, that it's been safe. But it's crazy, and they don't have a lot of service out there. We FaceTimed for the first time 2 days ago for in a month. It's been crazy. So
wait, I have a question. How many times have you watched Hamilton on Disney Plus at this time?
The funny thing is, I've only seen it twice, which, there are people, a lot of my friends have seen it at least 5 times, but I felt
But you've also seen it how many times in person?
I've seen it 8 times. John's seen it 48 times.
Whoa! Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so
absurd.
Cool.
I have my Hamilton scrunchie right here.
Yes, you do.
I love that show. My feeling was I wanted to see it at midnight when it came out, and I wanted to see it with the Showtreons. That's what we call the bwaySHO Patreon squad, and they're awesome. So we had a viewing party that day, and then I felt it would be more fun to see it again, just sit down on the couch and watch it when John got home. So I've been kind of holding out, and because like I said, he has very spotty service. I think he said that he watched the first number just so he could get a feel for the excitement and the tight shot and the wide shot. But it's really when he gets back in a few weeks, order pizza, have some drinks, and just like sit back and raise a glass to freedom.
Yes. Should we say hi to Eva, who's like so
Yes.
hello?
I
Eva.
love Eva. Hello, my friend. She is an international Hamilton fan and showtreon and is fabulous. Thank you for watching. There are a lot of people that either tune in now or will catch it over the weekend, so it's fun to like engage. If you have any questions, please drop the questions below, and then if you catch this later, you can always contact us individually because we're great at social media. I like this very much. So I want to get into so much. I've been thinking a lot about how I wanted to like ask some of the questions because I've been listening to your podcast nonstop and it's been so much fun.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, of course. It's fun when your friends have platforms like YouTube, like you were saying, or podcasts, or even just checking out Instagram. It makes interviews so much easier because you're just like, let me already know a lot of like the starting point questions, and then you like go in otherwise. I'm also going to take a moment here and just say the connection seems like it's ever so slightly a little like off. Sometimes if you have like extra, like another phone that's on Wi-Fi, or maybe see if you can do that.
Do you want me to see if my phone?
Oh, that's so strange that happening because it seems you seem fine on our end.
Yeah, you seem fine. Let me look at my phone.
Yeah, turn your phone off. Let me close out of some of these windows.
Yeah, I know.
That could do it.
I do that as well. And
I have so many. Sorry, I have so many tabs open on my browser.
Don't I know it? And sorry if there's a little extra background noise. I used to always close the door for these because like Slim would be barking or there would be like cars going by or whatnot. And it's so darn hot that if I don't open the door, like every makeup ounce that I have will just... So...
I get it. It's pretty hot here too. Okay, I'm gonna close all of these things. Just make sure we're not disturbed. Don't disturb us.
Oh, just so you know, I wasn't in my underwear. I'm wearing like running shorts because I'm gonna teach a ballet class later. If you saw me get up and you're like, "What's he wearing?" I'm like, I'm already ready to teach, so that's why I'm not in my underwear. I just realized that. I'm like, did that look crazy?
I didn't even notice.
No,
okay, good.
Perfect.
Is that better?
I love the explanation. I think so. Eva, why don't you let us know how it is for you? Because sometimes even like when I'm doing this, like I have it on my phone because it's like the best lighting with my ring light. So maybe that's also on my end. Just
Got it.
I've learned through doing this that it's better to like find a good little break, see if you can like problem solve if there's something, and then go from there, rather than when I started, I would just have this like panic attack in my brain. Like, do I say something? Do I not? The lighting's not good. Should I change this? I should open the door. I should let Slim in. Like all of these thoughts. And how, like, do you find that if you're doing a video or a podcast or one of the dances that you're doing, that it's easier to just take a moment, see what you can do, and then either it works or it doesn't work, but at least you like tried?
Yeah, because it's already when you're doing stuff like this online and trying to engage, you have like 10 different thoughts going on to try and keep this going. And so then when you notice the connection is bad, yes, you gotta clear it up. You gotta clear it up.
And anyone who's like anyone right now is used to this stuff at this point, so you might as well get it out of the way at the top. Yeah.
Excellent. So I want to get into how we met, because it's so funny to think that, you know, people do all these like Instagram giveaways and you know, sign up for this and follow these people. And, you know, I used to have a lot of friends that would like tag me and I'd be like, I don't know. And my friend Jody tagged me and I thought, oh, like this is Broadway related. This would be fun. So I followed it and I did it. And then like I won. What? How did you get involved from like that part of it, that y'all were part of like the hosts?
Um, for that giveaway, I just knew like I wanted to.
Well, I guess we had done some giveaways.
We had done some
before
giveaways with
that?
other Instagram accounts, like when we were in
While we were in
Charleston.
Charleston, that's where we learned about that. Yeah.
And so when we moved back, I was like, we should give away. We have the Broadway Life apparel, which is our Broadway fan T-shirts and hats and stuff. And I was like, we should just do a giveaway. And I wanted to. Taraj and Barry have this great account. They both have great accounts, but Barry's is Asian Maple Leaf, and this beautiful LGBT couple, which is a huge important part of our of our messaging, is that we want to show people you can be a happy, healthy LGBT married couple and make a living in the arts. And I was like, I wanted to create some more visibility and reach into their audience, and also a big part of our messaging is to support the arts. So I was like, let's and they're very connected in like New York and travel, and we're connected in theater and the arts, and I thought it would be a really cool crossover to do that giveaway. And what's so funny is that I was so excited that you won because I'd seen so much of your content, and it was just random selector. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so anyway, it just all worked out really well. And then we had drinks. Yeah.
That was so, yes. I actually specifically wanted to make sure I had a fun drink today because I felt like we got to know each other because of drinks. So like, why
Cheers.
not? Cheers indeed. And it was so much fun. And Andy, hello, saying yay, Jody. So people who may know, Jody is my trusty sidekick. She helps me like film a lot when we're in theater, and we like, it's fun to have someone who also is so passionate about what you do, who like lives close to you, and you can like call someone like, hey, I have an extra ticket to this. Are you able to come? And so when I won that, it was so exciting because it was like a free meal at this like very cute place, and then like drinks with y'all, and a photo shoot that like will happen when life is back to normal. Yeah. And then like to date ticks, like there was a ticket aspect that it's so funny. Like you never know. Of course, no one could have ever predicted this, but I kept like looking into it. Like I really want to see Hadestown again. And I was like looking into it. And then I almost got tickets for like that weekend, and then Broadway closed down. So it's crazy, and but it's like now I have something to look forward to. I will go to Hadestown and like enjoy it when we all can. But it was so fun that John and I got to go see Bret in Wicked.
That's
Yay!
right. We went backstage afterwards. Yeah, that worked out really well.
That was amazing. Yeah, Wicked was one of my all-time favorite shows. Like it was that type of show that, there's Slim, just wandering.
Hey,
Slim. He's my co-star. He's fabulous. He comes in and out. It's like a special guest. Love to see it. And every time I remember, like, I would do the lottery for Wicked. I would, like, wear green and, like, put on green lipstick. Like, I was very into living my best Elphaba life. And, of course, if you find out you know someone who's in the show, and John had never seen it, and then we also got to meet up with Taraj and Barry, and it was just like, it's one of those moments where like it's a true New York experience,
Mm-hmm.
like I wouldn't have necessarily like expected something like that to happen months and months ago, but when it all actually happened, it was so fun and exciting. And like, since both of you are in theater and on Broadway, like, does that happen more often and it like feels maybe surreal?
Like a giveaway experience, or just having like new friends and going out and having fun?
Yeah, like having fun and having the experience to like share Broadway, whether you're going to someone else's show or like someone comes to see you.
Yeah, I mean, it does happen because a lot of times people who know me or know Bret, if you're performing and it's somebody who I know well, and they're like, oh my God, my cousin or my aunt or my daughter's best friend and her friend, so if they come to see the show and you're able to spend time with them afterwards, it's definitely something that I've done, a lot for people or with people. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's New York is great for spontaneity. You never know. You turn the corner. I mean, sometimes I walk, like when I'm walking in New York in just one day. I mean, not right now, of course,
Yeah.
but I'll walk. It can feel like the smallest town. I'll walk and pass like 15 people in a 10-block radius, especially in the theater district, and be like, hi, hi, hi. Like all these
Yeah.
people I know, and
true.
it's such a huge. There's such a huge population. And if I'm with somebody, like if I'm with somebody from my family or somebody who's visiting, they're like, everybody, like I don't. It's just
just sort of
it's
a small
Midtown.
town. Yeah,
It's
I mean, New York becomes kind of like
when you've done it for a while, the community really becomes, you become part of that community, and it's a very unique community to be part of.
Yeah.
Is the service any better? I just want to check in.
It's like slightly. It's still a little pixelated. It happens.
So weird.
Yeah.
Maybe we should. I don't know why it's doing that, because I even checked on StreamYard and it says it's at high definition 720p.
So interesting. Would it be good to like close out and come back in?
Maybe. Let me try.
Hello, everyone. I'm still here. bwaySHO takeover of bwaySHO. Just keeping an eye out here. How are y'all doing tonight? Woo, woo. This is why I might host solo or with Slim, but I always like to talk with someone. I always find it funny, those podcasts. It's great when there's like one person and they just start out chatting, just like sharing their thoughts. Much easier to chat with someone else. If can't wait for Broadway to come back and to experience all this. Andy, lol. Yeah, this is so fun. Sorry, like I said, that there's a little extra audio in the background. Let me know if that gets bad. Here they are. Yay!
Maybe this is better.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
it's
good.
the internet, because we were in the bedroom.
We were in the bedroom. Now we've moved in here. You can see our posters behind us.
Ooh, I love it. Change of set. Change of scenery.
And Act 2. Here we are, Act 2.
Intermission is over.
Brilliant. See, this is great. We problem solve, we learn, and yeah, it's so great. And I love all those posters. You're the second person or people. Yesterday, my friend Mia was on, and she has like all these Broadway posters on her background. Like, are those all shows that you've been in, or you've seen, or both? Been in?
Shows we've all been in, yeah. So you'll see. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, can you list them?
Oh yeah. So Chitty Chitty Bang Bang was my first Broadway show, and then Billy Elliot was Steven's first Broadway show. I'm trying to do it with the camera, and then I did the Beauty and the Beast, which is right there. Little Mermaid. Oh, I can't do it. Okay, and then Steven did On the Town, An American in Paris, Hello Dolly. I did Paramore while he was doing On the Town and American Paris. And then, Hello Dolly. So only twice we've actually been both working on Broadway at the same time. And I say only twice, that's pretty cool. I think it's pretty awesome.
It was great. I was in Paramore and I was in American in Paris, and then I was in rehearsals for Hello Dolly when you were still in Paramore.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And then Wicked. So neat. Oh, and then this is actually this flop of a show I did that no one ever really knows, called Amazing Grace.
Oh yeah.
Which ran in like 2015.
Was it 15?
14?
Yeah,
15?
15.
And I actually really loved the experience of doing that show because the cast was amazing. But when we did our out of town in Chicago, I understudied the lead, and the second or third preview, a piece of set fell on his head, and I got thrown on, and I hadn't actually like had any rehearsal. or anything. And so that's where's that? That was they hung that in the lobby of the theater in Chicago. Like, the role of John Newton will be performed by Bret Shuford. And I literally, my first performance, I had to hold the pages in my hands. And I'm doing scenes with Chuck Cooper, Tony winner Chuck Cooper, crying and singing all these crazy songs. I mean, it was so intense.
Oh my
That was one of the most
God.
intense times in my life.
It was. And I was not there because it was in Chicago, and he was calling me, and I'm just like, okay, well, you're going to get through it. Call me when it's over. I love you.
That was pretty wild ride, that show.
Oh my gosh. That, the fact that to be ensemble members and swings and to like have to be at a moment's notice, like filling in, like how many roles right now when, Broadway's on, are you in Wicked?
I cover 8 tracks. So 2 principals and 6 ensemble. Yeah, it's a lot.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I swung Amazing Grace, and I was the only male swing. But when you're learning a show, it's much easier, at least in my experience, because everyone's learning the show at the same time. So
Right.
you're learning the show while they're learning it. And coming into Wicked 16 years into its run, there's no room for error on, at least in the management department. They're just like, why don't you know this? Like, this show's been around for 16 years. I'm like, girl, when this show came out, I was not watching. I was like not paying attention to Wicked.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know this show. I've never done it,
Of course.
That was an interesting 4 months, because literally I think the week before the shutdown was when I performed my very last track. So I finally performed everything, which is sort of like for swing, once you performed it, then it's about maintaining. So I just finally did everything, and then the shutdown happened. So good luck relearning all of that.
Yeah, exactly. And Stephen, to go from this like high dancing background, like there are, of course, they say like the singers who move, and then they're like the dancers who sing. I don't know. Do people say that as well? But it's
oh, totally. Yeah, it's totally a thing. It's totally a category. And, it was definitely a big transition. When I auditioned for Billy Elliot, I kind of went into the audition just like I knew in my own personal life and in my head, I knew that I was up for like a new experience professionally. I didn't go into the audition thinking that I would get it or that it was maybe something that I wanted to do. It was kind of like an exploratory moment in my life. You know what I mean? It was kind of like I was wanting something else, and I got the audition, and I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, I'll totally go to that. Yeah, okay. What do these people want? Because I've been, I know what obviously musical theater is from a distance, and I have been in it, but I was a part of a whole different kind of ballet world, and I wasn't sure, if it was for me or if I was going to get it. So I kind of went into the audition just a way that I wish I could go into every audition now, just kind of like, what is this? Oh, okay, you want me to do this? Just kind of like, what, I'm here. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, not really understanding the process of auditioning, and that they needed to it was kind of ego. It was a good ego, like a good, high ego to have at the moment. But, it was a huge transition, and a transition that I really wanted. And, and the ballet company that I danced for was New York City Ballet, and most of the ballets that are done there are neoclassical ballets, which means that they don't have stories to them. So it's just, dance for dance sake, or movement for movement's sake. And I kind of always, I'm sure most dancers do this, but, make up stories for why you're doing each movement, and tell a story in your head to remember it. So I was super excited to get a chance to be a part of something that was so story driven and so detailed. Every movement and every person on stage and every person was involved in making it happen.
Yeah, that's amazing. So when both of you see shows, and I know it's also really hard to see a show when you're in a show because of the timing, but do you look at it a certain way? Like, do you look at those dance moves or like those tracks?
Yeah, I mean, well, it depends on like how tired I am when I see something. I think this probably goes for anything or anyone. You know, if I've just come, like, if I've been performing and I'm in a matinee and then I've gone to see a show in the evening, usually I'm tired and I will watch people and be like, man, I'm glad I'm not doing that right now. Or, you know what I mean?
Oh my God, when we saw Hamilton,
It's definitely like, wow.
when we saw Hamilton, we were like, how is that ensemble doing that
Yeah,
8 times a week? Because they
Yes,
don't
Hamilton ensemble.
stop.
Yeah.
They don't stop the entire show. And you
They're
just like,
non-stop.
and so I just like, yeah, of course we notice those things, but Steven notices things that I don't notice. Like Steven
Like
notice,
what?
like Steven will notice certain, especially dance things and I'm trained as a dancer, but I'm not classically trained the way he is, and
Right.
so he notices things in style, or he'll notice things in technique that I don't notice, but also because his training is so high art, like it's such a different. It's
Is it?
yeah, but you have an eye, like you have an eye for it, like this, like different eye, like his perspective will always be very unique. Where I'm like, it's all based on, for me, it's all based on emotion. Like, how does it make me feel, and what are the words that they're saying, and like I'll interpret. I'll be, oh my God, that lyric. You know, I'll point those things out, and he's like, oh yeah, you know. But he'll notice a lot of the movement, a lot of lighting and design, like even like within that, like he'll have, like, that's always interesting to hear him point things out coming from his point of view. I remember when we first started dancing, was dating, not dancing. When we first started dating
And dancing together.
that show,
Dating and dancing.
that show So You Think You Can Dance came on.
Oh yeah.
And we watched the first season.
I
And
think we watched the second season is what we watched.
oh, okay.
That was so long ago, yeah.
Right. And he would
I mean, I'm sure that
and
was
we were
like 30
newly
years.
dating, and literally, like, it wouldn't take one person would come out, and they would just walk out, and you go, oof, their turnout. You know, like things that like I like don't even notice, or he'll be like, ooh, you know, and I'm like, oh, and you're like, oh yeah, because he's so technically trained, he just has an eye for it. Why is that?
Like I'm really critical.
Why is that embarrassing?
No, that's
It's true.
amazing.
I think it's
But I
cool.
love that
Yeah.
too. So wait, if anyone remembers, that was the season where it was actually Danny Tidwell, who has recently just passed away, which is terrible, who was amazing. What was the girl's name? Lacey Schwimmer. If anyone out here remembers Lacey
How
Schwimmer,
do you remember that?
Was amazing. Her and Danny did this dance together where they did hip hip chin chin. It was
Love
amazing.
that number.
So
That was a
and
good
then,
number.
That was the season that Neil Haskell was on. They were like the top 4. Neil Haskell,
Hamilton, right?
Hamilton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know too much.
And Danny Tidwell, who's, like I said, just recently died. He's amazing. Lacey Schwimmer, and then the girl who won was this girl named Sabra. But they were so good, the top 4, and we were so into it. That was when we first started dating.
Yeah.
That's funny that we just talked about that.
Did we even answer your question?
Yeah.
We went on a tangent. I don't even know what.
I love it. You know, a lot of these like interviews are really just conversations where like I will start with a prompt or a question and see where the adventure takes us.
I love it. Love it.
Yeah, it's okay. So I was listening to one of the episodes of your podcast, as I mentioned, Broadway Husbands, on the Broadway Podcast Network. And I heard you talk about Britney Spears as a nickname, and I'm obsessed.
So funny. Yeah, what do you want to know about it?
Yes, I know. I was like, do I even ask a question or just throw that out there? Like, being a fan of like theater, but also just like music in general, like that is such a like, I feel like most Broadway people would like hear that and love it and like and associate with it. Like, I know, Bret, you said that like you grew up wanting this, like, and knowing kind of like the dream that you wanted. Like, what were those theater or musical, just like, or artists that you looked up to and you would try to like emulate?
Britney Spears.
Same.
Well, now, I mean, not then, but now for sure on her Instagram.
I know. Actually, you just kind of like, I don't know why I hadn't thought of this, but I should do a whole Britney Spears like thing on TikTok. You know, like
Yes.
that's such a good idea. Because yeah, that's kind of how that name came about. Was in college. Because I was from the South and I went to school in Staten Island, all the kids from, who went to school in Staten Island, they were mostly from like Jersey, Brooklyn, Staten Island. And I'm like this blonde haired, blue eyed, like, I love musical theater and super cheerful. And then every time there was a party, I'd be like dancing like Britney Spears, like her freestyle, whatever. And they'd all be like, oh, look at Britney, And now, seriously, because we went to school in New York City, I run into people on the sidewalk, and literally anyone from college would be like, Britney! And I know who it is, Anyway, growing up, I didn't really have, like, for me, when it initially started, my person that I envisioned, like, myself being, you're gonna laugh, was Aileen Quinn from Annie. Like, I just wanted to like belt and be like on the stairs and be like, together at last, but that wasn't possible.
It's still possible.
And I every now and then I just check in on and Google Aileen and just see where she's at, make sure she's okay.
Really? I don't follow her on Instagram. That would be.
She did, she did Saturday Night Fever, and I think she did a tour of something else anyway. But I've yet to meet her in one of these days, maybe. But anyway,
it's gonna happen.
But I just knew what I wanted to do. I was obsessed with musical theater. I did community theater nonstop my entire childhood. I mean, at one point, like sometimes doing 4 or 5 community theater shows a year. And I was in choir, and I was in dance competitions in high school, and I was, president of the thespian club for. I mean, it was just all in it to win it. I had a vision, and I was going to make it happen, and that was it. And then when I moved to New York, I mean, I was a dancer primarily, like when I first started, so I was taking dance class all the time and auditioning for doing regional theater productions of West Side Story and A Chorus Line with some amazing people like Kendra Casaubon, and like and getting to work with those people before I ever even booked a Broadway show. So it was just, I was in it for life, and still am.
Excellent. Glad to hear it. Yeah. Well, it's funny too, because as you were saying that, I thought, oh, Britney Spears was my first concert. So it all.
Which one?
Like, I remember.
Which tour?
I was in like 4th grade, 3rd or 4th grade. I'm 28 now, so.
Was it like the Britney tour, or was it like Toxic, or like?
Oh no, it was like OG Britney. It was like.
Oh, wow.
It was fabulous. Like I'll never forget. Yeah.
And she was like, oh,
hit me, baby, one more time. My loneliness.
She's from Louisiana, and I'm from like right on the border of Louisiana and Texas, and my dad's from Baton Rouge. So I would read books. I would read books about Britney, and I would think in my head, if she can do it, I can do it.
This has gone exactly how I would have hoped.
We've always been like that. Even before.
Oh yeah, even before social media, like in the beginning.
I used to always play
Gemini's Twin.
Do you know Gemini's Twin?
Gemini's Twin from 7
No.
Or like even Bonquiqui.
Bonquiqui.
Do you know Bonquiqui?
Yeah.
Like,
we were obsessed with Bonquiqui.
And I used to play Gemini's Twin, and it was
with
Gwyneth Paltrow. What's her name from like? She was in like Anna Gasteyer and Maya Rudolph.
Oh,
and they were like this spoof like Destiny's Child, but they were all like white except for Maya Rudolph, and they would make these jokes about that, like how Maya Rudolph's like, are they white? Like
no, they'd be like, yeah, they call me. What did they call me? Like, yeah, my name is
They call me
I don't know.
Chanterelle, but my real name is Bridget.
Because I'm mad.
Because
white,
Bridget
yo.
sounds mad white, yo. And they'd be like, and it, it was MTV.
silly.
Oh my god.
MTV Cribs. I mean, this is a long time
This
ago.
is what we
This
used
is how
to
old
do,
we are.
and
Yeah.
we still do it.
But we still do it. We were
Nothing's
obsessed
changed.
with it. And we would always bring it up and talk about it. We still kind of do that same thing, and it definitely brings joy to our lives.
Wait, do you remember Sassy Gay Friend?
Yes. Wait. Sassy Gay Friend was.
I think you're 14 and you're an idiot. You took a roofie from a preach. Look at your life. Look at your choices. Did you even sleep with the guy?
Was that
did.
Was
You
that
got
the same guy
plugged,
that?
you.
Was that the same guy that would be like, "My son's gay. My son's gay." Do you remember that YouTube video? And he'd be in a wig and have glasses and be like, "Gay. He's gay." Or do you remember Shoes?
Let's get some
Yeah, that
shoes.
was like the original like viral video.
Shoes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Got 'em. These shoes are $250.
Let's
Let's
get 'em.
These
get 'em.
shoes are $250. I like that top.
This is what
Give
we
me
used to
that
do
top.
all the
Yeah.
time. And now TikTok is like taking it all to another
Yeah,
level.
it's like a whole other,
It's so funny to think back to those days. Like my camp friends and I used to quote that all the time. And there was one about like, Jackie, hi, Jackie. And my friend was Jackie, and I'd always go, hi, Jackie. And it probably got on her nerves so much that like, and we were like the theater people. Like we would go see shows all the time together. And every time I would see her, go, hi, Jackie. She hated me.
You look at my son's gay. My son's gay. Yeah, he's gay. What? He's gay. And it's just like this guy just in a wig pretending to be his mom. And then like opening the door. Huh? Gay.
Oh, and
Stupid.
muffins.
Muffin.
Boysenberry.
Oh my god, I gotta go watch those. Okay, on it. So silly.
That's what this hi Slim. That's what this you can only like see his snout. Hold on, let's Limbo say hi.
Oh, what a sweet face. What a sweet boy.
Isn't he the cutest?
Oh.
I like that's like the best part of getting this like ring light setup isn't the lighting, it's the fact that I can move it so you can see Slim.
Slim.
Obsessed. Now Andy just said, damn, I need to listen to you guys on your podcast. Going to subscribe now. Yeah.
Yay! Yeah, well, maybe we'll do a whole episode about silly YouTube videos we used to watch.
That's actually a great idea.
Yes. It's so great because it's like nostalgic in the best way. And like, if you know, then you start like we were just doing. Like, it's so natural because it was like in your brain for so many years that like
So many years.
I haven't watched those
Wait,
in so long.
Do you remember, did you ever watch, I think they were called the A-Holes.
Two A-holes.
Two A-Holes. It was
No.
Kristen Wiig, and I don't remember the guy's name. Maybe it was the guy that just this person.
Stefan.
Oh my
That
gosh, I
actor,
love
what is
Stefan.
his
I can't think of his
name?
name.
Bill
Bill
Hader.
Bill Hader, yeah.
Bill Hader.
I think it was Bill Hader and Kristen Wiig. I could be wrong about the guy. I'm not sure if that was Bill Hader.
Wait, I do think I know what you're talking about.
And they'd be like chewing gum and be like,
on their phones. They're like,
and they'd be like, two A-holes do a nativity scene. And then they'd be like, what does he want? Myrrh.
what?
What? Myrrh. What?
It's just like constantly like,
And you're just
what?
like, and you know those people.
What's that?
Like, you walk down
Right.
Fifth Avenue, and those people are there. You know?
Yeah, they do
We thought
exist.
that was like hilarious. Or for a newer one, what was the one, the Christmas video of? It was like a musical theater reference where they would all sit around.
You
and
know this
I
one.
think it was like Chris Hemsworth was like the guest, and it was
Yeah.
like
And she sings like the Jason Robert Brown song.
Jason
It's
what
like
was
feels
it?
like a Jason Robert Brown song. It's like,
what is she? Oh
God, I can't think of it right now. I'm gonna find it and send it to you. It's
Please
so
do.
funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, Tommy's in the bathroom. Yeah, it was like,
And then she's like, "And he killed me, and he killed-" like it's like something really.
never.
Yeah, I can't remember it.
And it's like a Christmas song, and everyone's like, "What are you?"
What are you singing?
Singing.
She's like, you don't
She's
know
like, "You don't know the song? It's that song. You know that popular
Oh, yeah,
song."
it's that.
No.
So good. Wow. Okay, so this is amazing, and I feel like
Is
I
this
could
on
talk
topic?
for-
I don't even know.
Yeah.
I want to make sure before we go, two quick things. One, I love your tagline. I love how you say it. Will you say it for us here?
Don't forget to love who you love.
And love what you do.
Yay! It's so sweet. It's so personable. Like what inspired that as like the saying?
Good question. We were literally, when the podcast happened, we were really trying to come up with a way to express what our mission is, like why we started the Instagram account in the first place.
Yeah.
And it really was to inspire people and show people that you can love who you love and love what you do, which is what we've been able to do in our lives. And we feel very lucky and blessed to do that. And the fact that we know that that's possible. We didn't.
Hi, it's okay.
Is he talking?
Shannon.
Is he talking to you?
So, okay, Slim's sister is shady, which is true. Slim's shady.
Oh my God.
And she lives in the house next door and with John's mom. And so they see each other from afar and they're like,
talk.
hey sis, yeah, hey bro.
That's cute.
Oh my God, that is so cute.
They're adorable.
Yeah, well, so that's the inspiration. Is we just want to. That's exactly what we hope to do. Is to prove to people that you can love who you love and love what you do.
I love everything about that. And that's like really how bwaySHO started. Like I was a trained journalist living in Texas, loved Broadway, and like couldn't stop talking about Broadway, right? Like I've loved it my whole life, and Hamilton was that like gateway, easy access for most people to like make a Hamilton reference, and people got it. And then it was like, wait until I give you a 13 reference, and they're like, what's that? And I'm like, just you wait. 13, when will I get it? 13, all the grown-up stuff. I love all of that, and it's so fun to now like have a community where you either know that and you've loved it forever, or you're like, wait, I've heard of that, let me go check it out.
Yeah.
What do you love about Broadway? What is it inspire? What about it inspires you?
Such a great question. Thanks for asking. I think Broadway, it just like, it brings out the song in my heart. Like I don't necessarily have the best voice and I can't dance as well as like I would hope to when I watch the two of you. But when I watch it on stage and I see that joy kind of like emanating off of the stage, and I like it, there is something about that live experience that like, of course, when you listen to a cast album, it like draws you back to that experience that you had. And like, I love going with like friends or, you know, family, or like it being a special moment. And I've always taken it as like, you know, I loved getting dressed up for theater, which I know not everyone does, but for me, it was like an experience. Like you get to watch like the best of the best and dazzle. And like, I love those like big shows with like the bright lights and the big dance moves and the ensemble, like sweeping it away. And oh, that's what I love.
Amen. Miss it. We really miss it.
Yes, me too. So for the last minute, can you just talk about your Broadway Life apparel and the donations, like, and the charity aspect that people can also go to?
Yeah. So these are a couple of the shirts that we have. I have this whole series of female leading ladies on coins. So in Cheetah We Trust, there's Audra, Barbara, Liza, and then we created a collection of Bring Back Broadway, which is actually based on the logo of the flop Bring Back Birdie, which was a sequel to Bye Bye Birdie.
Yeah.
And so we made a whole collection of shirts. There's phone cases and even a gaiter that you can wear as a mask that says Bring Back Broadway 2020. And the profits for that collection all go to support the Actorsfund. So Bring Back Broadway.
Excellent.
And then we also just came out with a design that says I Belong on Broadway. And the profits from that will go to support the Broadway Advocacy Coalition, which is helping create racial equality within the theater community. So we're trying, you know, without Wicked, we can't really donate to those organizations. So we're trying to raise money through the merchandise that we created.
Yeah. Amazing. Wow. Thank you so much. I was checking it out this morning. I will head back over, make my final purchase. Very excited.
Thank you.
Hope you do the same. Everyone watching at home. Thank you. I know you have a fun dance class, so go do that. And where can everyone find you, and any last thoughts?
On Instagram at Broadway Husbands. We're on YouTube. Subscribe to our email list as well if you want on our website, bwayHusbands.com.
Yeah.
And we have our own individual accounts, which are linked inside all of those things, so you can find us there. If anyone wants to take a ballet class, Steven's starting one in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be coaching, so you can come check out my coaching services as well if anyone's looking for support right now. And that's it. We just hope you guys all stay safe, stay healthy.
Thank you for having us on.
Thank
It was
you,
really
SHO.
great to see you.
Thank
I'm going
you.
to call you SHO. You're SHO to me.
Shosho.
You're my SHO.
Shoshi.
Love it. Well, thank y'all. Shoshi signing out. SHO for you whenever. Love, love, love. Can't wait to see you again. And we'll see you at the show.
Bye.
Bye.